Bisa dikirim juga nih, itu aja. Oh, hasilnya di ke mana-mana gitu.
Esteemed audience, dear participants, I would like to greet you all on behalf of the Eurasian Regional Center of ICYF in our next live stream session. Today, our guest ambassador of the third Executive Model OIC online lectures and Model OIC 2020 International Relations Academic Project run by ICYF-ERC in the partnership with the Ministry of Youth and Sports of the Republic of Azerbaijan is His Excellency Professor Dr. Ambassador Husnan bey Fananie, Ambassador of Indonesia to the Republic of Azerbaijan. We would like to thank His Excellency for accepting our invitation and being with us during this live stream. Dear participants of our online lectures, after the presentation of His Excellency, you will have a chance to ask questions about your interest to the Mr. Ambassador. So thank you a lot, Mr. Ambassador, for joining us today, and you may start. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
First of all, I would like to thanks to the OIC Youth Forum in this case that you already managed the programs very good, very well for the video conference such this time, you know, because we have to know that the world now not in the dark situation, but gray situation, because we still in the part of the world, we people, most of them, they are stay at home, and also some of the OIC countries like nowadays in the time of the Ramadan. So I want to say that Ramadan Mubarak, and happy Ramadan for all the people of all the Muslim people in the OIC countries, even in my country, Indonesia. Today is the first day for the fasting for the Aruj in Azerbaijan, I think. Azerbaijan is tomorrow, I think. I don't know exactly, but for Indonesia, for the Southeast Asian countries, for the Middle East country, they start fasting today. So congratulations and happy Ramadan. Allah will bless you all here, and we hope that our program now is become a good program going on, and you also who attend this time will blessed by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and we start now. You see, I am the ambassador of Republic of Indonesia in Azerbaijan, in Baku. So this is my pleasure to inform you all that Indonesia nowadays is the biggest Muslim country in the world, and we are the leader country of Southeast Asian. Now Indonesia geographically, Indonesia is an archipelago country. Is an archipelagic country located in Southeast Asia, lying between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. It is located in a strategic location. Yeah, strategic location. Indonesia, the world's largest island country. The Southeast Asian and Oceania, and also between Pacific and India, between Australia continent and Asia. Yeah, Indonesia is the largest archipelago in the world, comprising more than 17,500 large and small islands, situated between the continents of Asia and Australia, and between the Pacific and the Indian Ocean. It is also wide in the United States from San Francisco to New York. Equivalent also some distance between London to Moscow, or maybe from Baghdad in the Middle East to North Island, or maybe from Alaska to Miami. It is very wide countries with 17,500 islands. And we have 1,300 ethnics and 800 more than 800 languages. See, Indonesia is a country which around 290 million population, 800 languages and 1,300 ethnic. The government recognized 6 religions. We are majority Muslim, but we are the multicultural and multi-religious country, the biggest country in the world. The biggest multi-religious and cultural and ethnic in the world. You know, we are Muslim, we have Catholics, we have Protestant, Hinduism, Buddhism, Confucianism. With such a background, Indonesia become a multicultural and pluralistic society, home of diverse cultures and beliefs, growing robustly in harmony, forming a unique and distinct identity. Indonesia is also based on a national vision of multi-ethnic coexistence. We call it in bahasa or in Indonesian language, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. Unity in diversity was proclaimed as the national motto of Indonesia. Ini langsung ditayangin ya. So welcome to Indonesia. Indonesia is the biggest archipelagic country, and we born within the diversity by nature. Living means you are brother to multiple skin. Religion, tradition, culture, and so on. Indonesia also full of values, and we're proud with our values, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, that I told you just now. And here the principle, we have a 5 principle, believe in God, we believe in one God, ketuhanan yang Maha Esa. We believe in God. Civilized and just humanity, kemanusiaan yang adil dan beradab. Indonesian unity, persatuan Indonesia. Demokrasi kerakyatan dipimpin oleh hikmah kebijaksanaan dalam permusyawaratan perwakilan. Demokrasi. And the last one is social justice to all Indonesian people. Keadilan sosial bagi seluruh rakyat Indonesia. It is our principle, our 5 principles for our nation. So Indonesia is not a religious country, but Indonesian is the country who believe in God. And Indonesia is the country for the Muslim, for the Nasrani, for the Christian, for Buddha, for Hindu, and for Konghucu. It is not a religious country, but it is the country of religious people. So Indonesia also, as a Muslim biggest country in the world, we are inside of the organization, the world organization that we are now here in OIC, and we have helped each other, we have support each other one by one, and with the community also. And it is make us understand that Indonesia is the needy country in the world also. Indonesia is the country in Southeast Asia, but Indonesia is also the country in the world that we are not alone life in the world. Indonesia is the country that he or it have to be a friend of the world, friend of the other countries. As a Southeast Asian countries, we are 10 to 11 countries between Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Brunei Darussalam, Singapore, Thailand, and Burma. We are 10 to 11 countries in Southeast Asia, and we are like family or a country, neighbor's country. Our neighboring country is like our family in Southeast Asia. So later we are talking about Southeast Asia or Asian countries. Lanjut. Juga foto-foto aja nggak apa-apa. Although Muslim played a great role in the process of nation building and democracy, Indonesia is not an Islamic state. As I just told you that Indonesia is not Islamic state, Indonesia is not religious state. But Muslim are majority there. Muslim and all Indonesian people except Pancasila. Pancasila is the 5 pillars that I mentioned it previously. As the soul of nation, as the soul of the national ideology, Pancasila also mean 5 pillars, include belief in one God, civilized and just humanity, Indonesian unity, democracy, and the enforcement of social justice to all Indonesian people. The Indonesian 1945 Constitution assured the right of all citizens to embrace religion, beliefs, and worship accordingly. The Constitution also provides the basis for pluralism required for the growth of democracy, civil society, and multiculturalism. Indonesia continuously works to build a closer and active cooperation with Islamic countries and majority Muslim countries. Recent visit of the head of state, government of Indonesia and other Islamic countries such as Iran and Saudi Arabia resulted in a strengthened cooperation between the two countries, including economy, oil and gas, banking, investment, infrastructure development, education, culture, etc. Through bilateral cooperation, it is hoped that the two countries could contribute in resolving the conflict among other Islamic majority countries, promoting the spirit of Islam, unity in solidarity. Indonesia is also actively pursuing closer collaboration to regional cooperation, among others of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, like OIC. Since becoming a member, Indonesia actively enhance solidarity, discuss global issues of common interest, enhance economic cooperation, and promote interreligion and intercivilization dialogue. Among others, Indonesia hosts the 5th extraordinary OIC Summit on Palestine and Al-Quds Al-Sharif in Jakarta in March 2016. which provide concrete measure to support Palestine independence and to revive the peace process. Besides political issues, Indonesia is also actively participating in other fields, such as labor issues, Islamic tourism, health issues, and banking among OIC member states. Through active bilateral and regional cooperation, Indonesia believes that it could contribute in promoting solidarity among Islamic countries, working to resolve conflict and war, coping with Islamic world challenges, and enhancing capabilities to compete in the global world. Husnan Wirayuda, former Indonesia Foreign Minister, 2001-2009, emphasized Indonesia's foreign relation as it enables Indonesia to be a problem solver. So Indonesia to be a problem solver and a peace builder. Indonesia is projecting itself as a moderating voice in the Muslim world and as a bridge between the Muslim world and the West. So remember that Husnan Wirayuda, former Indonesian minister, he claimed that Indonesia is a problem solver and a peace builder. Indonesia is projecting itself as a moderating voice in the Muslim world and a bridge between the Muslim world and the West. So, brothers and sisters, audience, and everybody, Indonesia-Azerbaijan bilateral, it is like a brother and sister, or like two brothers relationship. Maybe I will show you the picture. Indonesia is the ring of fire. Azerbaijan is the land of fire. Continue. Now, academicians in Indonesia, together with the Embassy of Indonesia in Baku, doing a research to find the fact that Islam in Indonesia originally comes from Azerbaijan. Researchers found a similar between the tomb in Samarkand in Azerbaijan province come from 11th to 12th century. It is also available and proving that Indonesia and Azerbaijan is the old nation, brother. That's what I want to say, because we are talking about, I'm here in Azerbaijan, and in this case, in OIC member countries, the bilateral connection between the countries is very important. Especially in my case, I am the ambassador Indonesia in Azerbaijan, in my brother country, in my Gardas country. That's why I'm talking now between Indonesia and Azerbaijan relationship, brotherhood, Gardasle or Dosle. So Azerbaijan in the old brother of Indonesia, with its background of the Islamic history and the roles of the two countries in world politics, Indonesia and Azerbaijan more or less share the same value. Azerbaijan also promoting the value of Islam, multiculturalism, and democracy, actively participated in international organizations, and working together to resolve some international issues. With the 27 years of diplomatic ties between the two countries, Indonesia and Azerbaijan cooperation should enhance. Indonesia and Azerbaijan also working together in an active way to promoting about Islamic solidarity among Islamic countries, It is indeed timely that we discuss on the issue of Islamic solidarity and how we should strengthen cooperation between Islamic countries, and as we are increasingly imposed by today global challenge on Islam. It is also important to note that based on the research conducted by US Pew Research Center, Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. The research found that the Muslim population will grow by 73% between 2010 up to 2050. Therefore, we need to work together to make a harmonious, peaceful, and better future for the Muslim world. Enhancing political cooperation is important to create a more peaceful and harmonious world. Today, the Muslim world is dealing with many conflicts, including conflict among Islamic countries, as happened in the Middle East. This creates the need for concerted and rapid collaboration to restore stability and security in the Middle East. Gambar saya lihat, gambar waktu dia gimana. The issue of Palestine is also a priority for the Muslim world, since it is the key to establish a peaceful Middle East condition. Indonesia and Azerbaijan's efforts in resolving Palestinian conflict through conference and other means are good examples of how we should find solution through consultation and dialogues. Strengthening and expanding economic cooperation is another important measure. We should take a boosting our position in the world economy. Tourism is one of the potentials that Azerbaijan should tap from Indonesian Umrah religious pilgrims to Saudi Arabia each year. Indonesia is currently the third largest Umrah pilgrims to Saudi Arabia, with around 650,000 people per year. In the Indonesian pilgrims usually visit Turkey, Jordan, and other neighboring countries after pilgrimage. With the ease of visa for Indonesian visiting Azerbaijan nowadays, Azerbaijan should work together with Indonesian government in tapping this pilgrim to visit Azerbaijan. Other perform religious pilgrims to see Azerbaijan. This would further enhance economic opportunities and mutual understanding among the countries in OIC members. So we are talking about the tourism, we are talking about the Umrah, and we are talking about tourism from the Umrah pilgrimage from Indonesia going to Saudi Arabia and then to Azerbaijan. It means already 3 OIC countries we work together for the tourism. For tourism, for pilgrimage, for Umrah, and also for the transportation. So in this case, Indonesia asking Azerbaijan, Indonesia also tell to the Saudi Arabia, our Saudi Arabia territories to welcome our Umrah pilgrimage peoples, our Muslim brothers who want to go to Umrah to visit Makkah and Medina, and then finishing their Umrah so they can visit the other country like Azerbaijan, who is full with the history of Islam, historical countries of Islam, the tomb of Noah, the tomb of Nizami Ganjawi, the tomb of Yahya al-Bakwi, the place of the Astasyah Zoroaster quill, and other places in Azerbaijan who very historical place. So, you know, Indonesia, Azerbaijan, we are side by side. We help each other to support in the economic, in the tourism sector, and of course in the education, because some student also coming, Indonesian student coming to Azerbaijan to study in Azerbaijan, and also in Azerbaijan student coming to Indonesia to study in Indonesia. In the field of socio-cultural relation, Indonesia and Azerbaijan shows that both countries are proud of Islamic cultural values and heritage. This is what I want to say. Islam has become one of the uniting factors for Indonesia and Azerbaijan in further strengthening its partnership. While becoming the Islam-populated countries, both countries also show that Islam can coexist harmoniously with other religions and cultures. This element should further be strengthened through joint research and publication. Jakarta. Student and academicians expert exchange. As I told you, that Indonesian students, they are coming to Azerbaijan to study in some university, of the certain university, and also the Azerbaijani student, they got a scholarship to study, to learn in Indonesian universities. So in cities, in Jakarta city, in Bandung, Yogyakarta, Medan, Padang, and other cities in Indonesia. So we are already familiar with Azerbaijani peoples, and Indonesian people also familiar with Azerbaijani people are familiar with Indonesian people. So we need to learn and take the best from each other to produce qualified human resources for the country's development. With this potential, with the potential that Indonesia and Azerbaijan have, we would work together and inspire other countries to collaborate in addressing and coping the challenge in this changing global world. This is not only for Indonesia and Azerbaijan, but it is only simple for our OIC lovely countries. All over the world, we have OIC, Indonesia, Islamic Organization for Islamic Conference. So we want all the people of these countries, in OIC countries, side by side, we build the peace, we build the understanding between our peoples in the OIC countries, in the Islamic countries, in the Middle East, in all the world, to work together to build our peace world, to build our prosperity world, to build the good life of our future, our generation, our Islamic generation, and our culture and our civilization. So, brother and sister, I will take again to you to listen my little bit speech, not speech, article. And after this, If some question want to come to me, I'm waiting for you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yes. His Excellency, thank you very much for delivering presentation. You are showing your article now, or we are proceeding to the question session?
Yes, if there's question, please.
Yes, there are some questions about Indonesia. The first one is about the capital policy of Indonesia. Some participants asking that why Indonesian government planning to move the capital outside of the Jakarta, and maybe some demographic challenges related to that.
Okay. Indonesian capital, I will show you with the picture. Indonesian capital is Jakarta. So the question is very nice, very good. This is Jakarta. Ada lagi yang lainnya. This is Jakarta. Jakarta is the big capital. Jakarta is the biggest capital in Asia. Even the people in Jakarta nowadays is among 17 million people who live in Jakarta. People is 17 million, 17 million people. This city is biggest, 3 times bigger than Tokyo, 3 times bigger than Hong Kong, and even 2 times bigger than New York. Jakarta is the biggest capital not only in Indonesia and Asia, but in Asia, in all Asia, and in all countries in Pacific. This capital city, people living 17 million with several languages and ethnic. And this capital also the central of the central for the government of Indonesia, and also the central of the business and a business center in Indonesia. Yang lain, yang lain. Jakarta also the capital of politician center. So nowadays Jakarta is already more than 275 years old. It is old city, and it is a very crowded city. So we need to spirit. Jakarta is metropolitan, yes. Jakarta is modern city, yes. Jakarta is the city of business, yes. But we want to spirit from Jakarta as the government city. So the meaning of the capital, it means we want to take out the government business center, the crowd for the government, because it is not suitable again, you know, such the city with 17 million people living day by day, night and day, they're living very crowded city. So Jakarta now, we not shift the Jakarta to the other place. No, not we don't want to shift the capital to shift the whole city, like to shift your car from one place to the other place. No, like that. We want to spirit the center of government, yeah, from Jakarta to the other city. So we want to say that the capital city for the government of Indonesia, we want to put it in the middle or in the central of Indonesia. You have to remember that Indonesia with 17,500 islands. We have 17,500 islands. We are archipelagic countries, the biggest islands, archipelagic countries. You know that? So we have to shift our government city, our government central to the other island, to make the other islands, the other islands develop in economic, in infrastructure, in everything. Jakarta is too crowded now. 17 million people already there living. People, business, politics, entertainment, all that. You see, I saw you the picture of the city. This is what I want to say, that the capital for the government, all the business government, we want to shift from Jakarta to the other island. We save it to the island of Kalimantan, Borneo. Borneo is the central island, the biggest central islands of Indonesia. Borneo, or we call it Kalimantan. So the central of government will save to Kalimantan Island. It means we build the other city there. We build the other city. We build the infrastructure there. So the island become live. The island's going to live. And the island's going to bright, because the light and the peoples and all economic and all infrastructures coming there. You see, Jakarta is so crowded like this. Yeah, Jakarta with 17 million people, it is enough for our today, but not good for our generation, for our future. That's why our capital, Jakarta, will spread the government business, yeah, the government offices, the government business in the middle of Indonesia island. We call it Jakarta, we call it Borneo or Kalimantan. I think this is my answer. So you have to remember that Jakarta is the biggest also city in the world. Beside the Buenos Aires city, beside the Mexico City, Jakarta also the biggest city in the world. And even this is 3 times bigger than Tokyo, 3 times bigger than Hong Kong, 2 times bigger than New York. Jakarta with 17 million people. Thank you.
Thank you a lot. The next question is about the Rohingya crisis in Myanmar and the position of the Indonesia towards this issue. Participants are interested in maybe within the capacity of the OIC member state, what steps has been taken by Indonesia to protect rights of the Muslims around the world?
You know, Rohingya is in Southeast Asia countries. Rohingya is in Myanmar. Rohingya is our neighbor. Even Rohingya is our real brother, because we are in Asia, Southeast Asia. We are same. Before the OIC members country talking about Rohingya, Indonesia is the first time who built the shelter for the Rohingya people. Yeah. Before, yeah, see. Oh yeah. The humanity crisis in Rakhine and the state is getting more concerning, especially following the failure of the refugee repatriation from the state border last August and the increasing disbelief of all the elements with regard to the crisis settlement. So, what we are doing, Indonesia is the first country in Southeast Asia who come to build the shelter, to build the hospital in Rakhine, in Rohingya place, Indonesia built a school. Indonesia has built schools, hospital, and public market to trigger the economy and to provide education and healthcare. Stop. For the people of Rakhine state. So this is what we do for our brother, our sister in Rohingya. Rohingya is it is the tragedy of humanity in Southeast Asia. So if we want to, if I want to say that Rohingya is like in Bosnia in 1975. But still, we want to make a peace process. We don't want that Burmese or Myanmar government to use against military forces. That's why our foreign minister, Mrs. Retno Marsudi, she came directly to visit Myanmar to talk to military leaders, junta leaders there, and also to Madam Aung San Suu Kyi about these cases. She is the first one who came and talk about this. So Indonesia, we don't want to talk only. We come directly, and even if it is need, we come with the military things. We are neighbors. But no, Indonesia only has built schools, hospital, public market to trigger the economy and to provide education and healthcare for the people of Rakhine state, to the people of Rohingya. So for the Rohingya, it is the case of the Southeast Asia. If you are talking about the Southeast Asia, Indonesia is the first one because we are the biggest Muslim country in Southeast Asia, even in the equator, the earth equator. That's what I want to say.
Thank you very much. And the next question is about the environmental problems that OIC countries face. As you know, Indonesia faced a lot of environmental challenges in the past. So do you think that the OIC needs to create special bodies within itself to cope with these environmental challenges?
Okay. You know, environmental problem in Indonesia is already, we have already environmental case since a long time ago. We are island, we have 17,500 island. It means we have also so many forests. We are the forest countries. We are the rainforest country in the world, best in the world, big in the world. we have the big rainforest country in the world. So, in the increase of the population, now Indonesia almost 300 million people. Now it's 272 up to 280 or 90 million people. Almost 300 million people who living in Indonesia. Of course, we spread all people, not in one place, not in one island. We spread all to all islands in Indonesia. People, you know, people from Sumatra Island, they can also live in Kalimantan, in Sulawesi Island, not only in Java. In Java is already full with the people. So we have to open the new era, the new area, the new. So of course, we need the new area. We need the new places. So we open the forest. You know, we are talking about the capital city just now. We are talking the new capital of Indonesia. It means the new capital for the government business, for the government offices. That is in the island, we call it Borneo or Kalimantan. Kalimantan Island or Borneo Island is the biggest island in the central of Indonesia. And this central Indonesia, full with the rainforest area. So we took a small piece of the rainforest of Indonesia in the middle, in the central island. So we make it a city, we make it a place, but we don't distract, or we don't make it bad. The situation and the condition of the landscape and the area of the forest, all forests, no. So this is our country with our resources. We did it to our resources, such a rainforest, such a place for the people who live, and we have to save the countries. We have to save the capital city of the government capital city. So we need some piece of the rainforest. So we built that place. We built that rainforest. So the environmental challenge, like what the Western want to be to Indonesia. OIC, you know, most of the OIC members, they are living in the Middle East. And even in the Middle East, we have more of the countries only a desert. We call it in the Arabian countries or in some of Africa, they are all desert only. But Indonesia is forest, rainforest. Indonesia is not, it is not gray or not brown or not yellow. We are green. So if we are talking about the green, Europe also before green. United States also before green before. But they use it. They use it for the people. London, Paris, Amsterdam, all now cities for the industrial cities. Make the world change in environment. So why they don't stop the industrial product? Why they don't look at Indonesian people? who live in the forest. Why? Why not? So the environmental challenge is not the challenge of the people who has a forest, who has a mountains only, who has islands only, but it is the challenge for the all human being in the world. Indonesia is the biggest country with the islands, with the forests. So they claim and they go their disease to Indonesia, like this to Indonesia. No. I am the first one to talk to them. You do like this. Did you go to the forest? Did you go to the islands? Did you go to the beach? So just you go to Indonesia, come to Bali, come to Sumatra, come to Raja Ampat, come to Sulawesi, come to the Komodo Island, come to many islands in Indonesia. You can see the paradise. You can see the part of the Jannah, part of Jannah, part of the paradise. You can see the Lost Atlantic Island, the Lost Atlantic City, the Lost Atlantic Continent. You know, Atlantis, it is in Indonesia. Also, so many culture, so many heritage that you can find until now. That's what I want to answer, my brother.
Thank you very much. And for the last question, our youth asking that what advice you would like to give our youth in the face of this pandemic and in the face of these hardships. What will be your advice to our youth? How to improve themselves and
for youth, yeah.
Your message to the youth.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. You know, Indonesian with almost 300%, 300 million, almost 300 million people. It means 3 or 4. It means 3 or 4 of Indonesia, or maybe it means 60% of Indonesia is the young style, is the young people, is the young generation. Now, Indonesia is the country built and developed by the young generation, or we call it in the time we call it as a middle class generation, with the age from 20 to 45 or to 50. From 20 to 50, let's say to 20 to 50. Now, even in Indonesia, now President Republik Indonesia, Mr. Joko Widodo, it is the man who has the age below 50. And the cabinet ministers, all is from 30 years old people. The ministers, almost the ministers from 20 to 30 or to 35 years old. It means Indonesia nowadays, they are the generation of middle class from 20 to 50. The economic building, cultural building, socio-cultural building, education, and in all field Indonesia, the young generation is going to take a chance, to big chance tentang generasi muda. So, for example, like what we call it in the business online, in the startup business, in internet business, in online business, in website business, in IT business. Now Indonesia is the fourth biggest number in the world after India and China. In Southeast Asia, we are the biggest one. Why? Because who run the business, who run the electronic business, who run the business challenge in Indonesia, now is Indonesia. It's Indonesia. See, Indonesian unicorn startup companies. Now we are number 6. See, we have 6. We have 6. The biggest in the world. Gojek, Tokopedia, OVO, Bukalapak, and so on. So this is all who built this and all who run the business this, not others than the young generation. So the young generation, it has to have first creativity, progressivity, proactive innovation, visionary. You have the visionary. They have a future vision, visionary. And the 6th one is futuristic. So creativity, progressivity, innovation, yeah, visionary, yeah, and futuristic. So it is very important for the young generation. And I hope the young generation of OIC members country, they are growing by this time. And unfortunately, some of our brothers country in the Middle East, they still have a problem with the war, with the conflict, with the, see, that's what we have to solve the problem. Indonesia as the problem solver, and as Hasan Wirayuda said, Indonesia is problem solver. So Indonesia also ready to stand between OIC members country to be a solver, peace solver in this case of OIC. So the young generation, the youth, even organizationally or personally, youth and young generation, it is the front liner, the front line of the countries to bring the country more active, more struggle, more moderate, more tolerant to others, to other countries, to the people of the world, and to the countries of the world. So I tell to all young generation of OIC, keep your iman, keep your faith, your ideology, proud with your country, and you always take your parent or your father, mother as your paradise, your struggle for paradise. And please, a broad-minded, be a moderate, be intellectual, be struggle to our people. Be struggle to our future. Be struggle to our countries and nation. So thank you, OIC, yours, member.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Actually, there are a lot of questions, but we are running out of the time. So thank you for answering these questions. If you have a couple remarks, would you like to deliver? Please feel free to deliver. Or if you want, we can conclude our live stream.
Okay, now just I think just now I have already finished my word, but
Yeah.
I want to tell all the young generation of OIC, Ramadan Mubarak, and don't forget this is the Ramadan time, and this in Ramadan we can think clearly. We use our intellectual, we use our brain is clearly, because we keep and we make a patient to our soul, to our body. So the religion and the life, really life, it is going side by side. I will tell you, religion, spiritually, and the reality is going side by side. You cannot make apart. So it is what I want to say. Ramadan Mubarak, and thank you for IC Youth organization in Azerbaijan, in all over the world. So Allah will bless you. Allah will keep you. And we hope the coronavirus will lose by the coming of the Ramadan. The light of Ramadan will kill all the virus in the world. Inshallah. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum assalam. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for joining us, and happy holidays, Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Kareem.
Oh, thank you for all us joining.